Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to the next edition of the Daily Slab. It is a gorgeous spring morning here in Michigan. Things are finally getting their nice green look to them. Been looking forward to that for a long time. For those of you who don't live in an area where everything looks like it dies at the end of every year in the fall, the feeling that you get when you see everything turn green again at the end of a long winter is wonderful. It gives you a feeling of new life and new vigor. It's pretty cool. Although I still must say I would prefer to live somewhere where it didn't get so cold and snow so much every year. So, but that's a topic for another day. Sorry I've been a little late on my videos the last couple of weeks. We had a solid week of non-stop rain. I only got to ride one day, and it even rained on that day a little, but just there was absolutely no chance to tape anything at all. And then last week I started having some trouble with my camera. I was able to tape one ride, actually two. I posted one. I'm going to post the other one in the next day or so. Something happened to my camera. I'm not sure what it was, but the battery was losing power very quickly. So I had to do a full reset on the camera, recycle the battery a couple times. It seems to be doing better now. So should be back online with regular updates. But in the couple of weeks since I've done my last Daily Slab, a topic came up just because it's happened to me a couple of times. Yeah, oh, that was a nasty deer. It's happened to me a couple of times in the last week of riding, and I think it's a subject that all of us riders deal with. Every driver, whether you're in a car or on two wheels, deals with road rage. And you deal with both sides of road rage. You deal with the road rage that's directed at you. You know, maybe you've made a mistake on the highway and you've cut someone off, or someone thinks you've done something to them, even when you may have been obeying the laws correctly. But then there's the side where we ourselves deal with road rage when someone does something to us. And it's common, and we all, no matter how much you say that you never deal with road rage, at some point in time we all deal with it. Something happens when your kids are in the car, and it's a dangerous moment where your kids could have gotten hurt or your wife could have gotten hurt, and you get very frustrated and very angry, and quite likely are more willing to do something that you wouldn't normally do. So when you put that same situation onto a motorcycle, it's exponentially worse as far as the rage is concerned, because as motorcycle riders, if you ride any amount of time, you know that you deal with life and death situations on a daily basis. Decisions that you make or decisions that other drivers make put your life in jeopardy. And we deal with it regularly. I would say there's probably not a day goes by where there's not potential for a situation that could either harm you or kill you. So normally I deal with these situations pretty well, but twice in the last week I've had issues come up that have, I don't know why, but have triggered, you know, the road rage in me. I had one instance, and when I go back and I look at things and review in my mind what happened, you know, the first instance was a lady who, I was at a stoplight and she was turning right from the opposite direction in front of me. So she's sitting at the light behind another car that was turning right. She was trying to squeeze into the intersection. It's rush hour traffic. She's trying to squeeze into the intersection. Well, the light turns green for me, So I went, and I believe I have that footage on there, and if I do, I'll throw it into the video here. I accelerate forward. The car that's in front of her kind of stalls out and just sits there for a moment. So I get right on top of the car, and I have to slow down. Now, at this point, number one, she should never have been in the intersection in the first place. But for some reason, this triggered anger in me, and so I decided that I was going to push the issue. So as soon as the car in front of her started to go, she tried to squeeze in. So as you can see, I dart my bike in front of her, and, you know, try to do the Harley cool thing of revving my engine and letting her know that I'm there, you know. But when you go back and you look at the video and you realize how, I mean, granted, technically it was my right of way. Technically I was in the right to do what I did. But one little bump from her car, just one little nudge would have sent me flying. And in that amount of traffic, I mean, who knows if you're going to get ran over, who knows what limbs you're going to break. I mean, it was a low-speed incident, so it wasn't a big deal, but I decided, you know, in my judgment at the moment, which was very flawed, that I was going to push the issue and let her know that she was in the wrong. So that was my first instance. The second I don't have any video of. It was a day that I was having trouble with the camera. And I had a lady, I was on the highway, and she came off of an exit and came across, she was trying to merge on and trying to beat the entrance ramp. So she crossed, I was in the middle lane just like I'm sitting now, and she crossed over from the entrance lane over the double white lines. She wasn't even close to the entrance into the expressway. She was trying to cut around the person that was in front of her, and she was sitting just a little in front of me, so technically I was in her blind spot, even though I was in the middle lane, was ways away from her. I knew what was happening, and so I let off the gas, and she swerved clear into my lane. I hit the horn. She jerked back over into her lane, but then she guns it and shot past me. Well, it made me mad. And so, I mean, and she instantly shot her car, or her truck. She had a huge truck, and revved it up to, 85, 90 miles an hour, and started down the road. I'm still not sure that she completely seen me or just didn't care. Anyways, so the traffic was very heavy, and now we were moving along, at 60 to 65 miles an hour, but it was bumper to bumper, and I decided I was going to push the issue, so I started weaving through traffic like a moron, trying to catch up to her. She was in the right-hand lane. After a couple of miles, I caught up to where she was at. She was probably a car length in front of me in the right-hand lane, and I seen her come over. Well, she came over all the way into my lane, almost hit me. She still didn't see me. So I slammed on my brakes. She shot in front of me, and then this time I really let her know I was there, and started yelling, waving at her, honking, revving the engine. And, at that point, she took off. I stayed right on her bumper. We hit some ridiculous speeds, to be honest with you. And suddenly I decided to back off because I realized how stupid it was. And she took off and went on down the road, and I didn't see her again. But, neither incident resulted in anything happening. But the fact that me on a 800-pound motorcycle decides that I'm going to assert my authority, even though it was my right-of-way and technically my lane, in both instances, I don't know what I was trying to accomplish. If I was trying to accomplish letting them know that they're a bad driver, then fine, I guess. But I have an 800-pound bike going up against a 5,000-pound truck, or a 4,500-pound car, and who's going to win out of that, honestly? And and I'm not going to go around and smash somebody's mirror off. I mean, that's in danger, and it puts the people on the road around me in danger. So, you know, and we had a guy last week, actually it would have been Thursday, who was on a motorcycle on US 23 and was critically injured. They're not sure if it was a road rage incident or a road rage incident, but they said that he was weaving in and out of traffic with a red Dodge Magnum, and he cut into the right-hand lane, did not see a car that was in that lane that was moving at a lower rated speed, and smashed into the car, and he is severely injured because of that. So as you're riding, I know it's much easier said than done, and like I said, we deal with it on a daily basis. Each one of us do. And on a motorcycle, your impulses are on higher alert anyway, so it has a tendency to want to, you know, manifest itself in a more aggressive manner than it does when you're in a car. Similar to this person right here, who decides that since I went around the semis, they're going to cut in front of me or cut around me and go into the middle lane. It's that type of stuff right there that lends itself to frustration when I'm already going 75 miles an hour and she's cutting behind me, weaving all over the place. Anyways, those types of instances right there are what cause people to get killed. And you know, when you're going up against a car, more than likely you're going to lose. Now granted, your family may get a settlement out of it, but you're not going to survive the incident. So I guess the thought for the day is, you know, try to think twice as far as when you're going to react to an incident, or if you decide that further action is warranted. You know, think about it 2 or 3 times. Make sure that you're not just trying to fix a bruised ego because they cut you off, or most of the time it is because you're angry for a stupid reason. And I just want to caution people who are riding motorcycles to not engage, because you're on the losing end already, because you're in a much smaller vehicle, or on a much smaller vehicle, and we want to get as many of our riders home each day as possible. So, final thought for the day, I'm looking forward to the day. It's Monday, April 15th, sorry, Monday, May 15th, wow, and it is gorgeous out today, so I am going to look forward to a great week. I encourage each of you to do the same. I encourage you to look for something positive today. Look for something awesome that you can do. Help someone out today. If each one of us took a moment to help someone throughout our day, how much better would this world be? Especially with as crazy as things are right now. Look for something good you can do for someone today. And I wish each of you will have a good day. Keep yourself safe, ride safe, and enjoy being out in the wind. This is Backroads Riding, the end of the Daily Slab.